I'm Brian Lilly. Celebrities, your moral and intellectual superiors. That is the topic of tonight's Byline. Neil Young says it's wrong for the United States to fight ISIS because they have such a small carbon footprint. I wish I could make this stuff up. I really do. Like I said, I can understand real solid arguments against this war and others. But Neil Young is arguing that the barbarians should not be fought because they have a smaller carbon footprint. Young was on Howard Stern's radio show having a wide-ranging discussion when he went off about ISIS.
The things that we don't know, we can do little things to fight climate change, and yet our army and our armed forces are the biggest CO2 providers into the world. It's amazing, and yet we're fighting like ISIS.
What do you think? What do you think about
Al Qaeda? And we're fighting these wars against these organizations, and their carbon footprint has got to be like 1% of our huge army and our navy and all of this stuff that we have with all our big machines, and we're doing more damage to the earth with our wars than. And you try to find out. Hey, freedom. No, freedom. You don't get it. You can't find out what that carbon footprint is of the military. It's not available for us.
Doing damage? I think Neil Young did damage to his head, although I think he did it with a lot of drugs. You want to keep kids off drugs? Let them hear Neil Young try to construct a sentence. In Young's world, he's not worried about beheadings, rapes, sexual slavery, ethnic and religious cleansing, and he's not arguing against intervention due to an isolationist mindset. He's not saying the U.S. and the West should stay out because, well, it's none of our business and, well, just let those folks kill each other in their civil war. No, like everything else, to him, this is about climate change. Listen to that part of the tape again.
We're fighting these wars against these organizations, and their carbon footprint has got to be like 1% of our huge army and our navy and all of this stuff that we have with all our big machines, and we're doing more damage to the earth with our wars than. And you try to find out. Hey, freedom. No, freedom. You don't get it. You can't find out what that carbon footprint is of the military. It's not available for us.
Don't worry about ISIS. They have 1% carbon footprint. I'm gobsmacked. Young's just the latest celebrity to open his mouth and prove that he should just be keeping his shut, keeping his thoughts to himself.
More than 1 billion people who aren't fanatical, who don't punish women, who just want to go to the store,
wait a second.
Sandwiches,
Wait a second.
5 times a day, and don't do any of the things. You're saying all Muslims.
Wait a second.
Stereotyping.
Wait a second.
Things, and you painting the whole group religion with that.
Oh, that was Ben Affleck. Or we could talk about Kristen Stewart, the Twilight film star. She had to say this about Al-Qaeda terrorists holed up at Gitmo. She said, well, they're just people too, and a little misunderstood. In a new movie, Camp X-Ray, about the prison at Guantanamo Bay, Stewart plays a guard of the terrorist prisoners who eventually become sympathetic towards her charges. While Stewart shares that sympathy for terrorists, she's a little judgmental of military personnel and says they're just simple. Here's what she said to the Daily Caller. She said about the character she plays, she's simple, not very smart and really socially inadequate, but a good person. So if you can sign up, put on a uniform and erase yourself, you don't have to consider yourself anymore. Disdain for the military, love of topics they know nothing about, insane ramblings about the carbon footprint of a terrorist organization. I wouldn't care so much if we didn't live in a celebrity-obsessed culture where these people are they're put up as role models for people to look up to. These are folks with more influence than our elected leaders. If that wasn't the case, I wouldn't care so much. But Neil Young is still revered. I don't know why. And his views on climate change, well, they do hold sway with lots of people. He's not the only one. David Suzuki is currently embarking on a cross-Canada tour to push for more action on climate change. He's not doing this with scientists and engineers. He's going out with celebrities. He's got them coming out with him. The Bare Naked Ladies, I mean, they're not scientists. Yeah, I mean, sure, they sing the theme song for a sitcom about scientists, The Big Bang Theory, but they themselves, they're not scientists. Neither are the guys in Blue Rodeo or singer Chantal Kreviazuk. But they all make Suzuki, the celebrity fruit fly expert, they make him look like a real scientist. Neil Young's ramblings about the carbon footprint of ISIS should disqualify him from getting the star treatment he normally does when he speaks on this issue. You remember the media party going nuts when he toured and spoke about the oil sands? They were just enthralled with him on that. Well, what he said now should have that shut down when he speaks about the oil sands again. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. We should all stop listening to celebrities, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that. And that's the byline.